Okay, this is the update on the CREE LED set on my Biocube 29. I'm going to do two parts, one on the CREE, one on an auto top off that I've been getting a lot of questions on. So here we go. It's been about 4.5 months since my last video, and what you can see is probably the best thing. It's the monoporo or the acroporo. You can definitely see a huge amount of growth on both. All the corals have responded well to the CREE LEDs. Had to move a couple, a Kenya tree and a brain. They weren't reacting well, but I think that was mostly me being impatient. All the ones that were kind of having reactions to the brighter lights have all recovered and now are doing great. So far so good. I mean, there's a couple things, like for example the plants that I put in the tank, Helmeta, is, here's just one piece. It was about half that size when I put it in. Actually, if I go around the side of the tank, I had to break it off recently because it was growing so much that it was taking over. So huge amounts of growth. Everything seems to be responding well. Recordia, mushrooms, both are doing well in here. The polyps have expanded, taking over that rock. I moved some things around since the last one, but pretty much everything that was in here before is still in here. The DeRosa clam, shrooms, zoanthids, obviously the green star polyps, galaxia in the back. So if I lift this up, see that it's the same CREE set. I did reduce it down to about half the voltage. It was pretty darn bright, and everything seems to be reacting better. I think it have on right now at 6. So anyways, for the auto top off, I went with a Tunzi 3155. This is the Oceanic chiller. It's a 110 chiller. But basically all I did was a 5-gallon bucket, drilled some holes in the side. You can see in there the pump from the Tunzi. There's the Tunzi unit, and that's also the aqua controller. It kind of gives you some water parameters right there right now. So the pump shoots water up here at the top of the Biocube. You can see there's the float valve, and this is also the return right here for the chiller. The intake is over here in the first chamber, and that protein skimmer has a CPR SR3, which I highly recommend these Biocubes. It just pulls out tons of stuff. And the last question that seems to be asked a lot is backups. And so what I did was I ended up putting in a APC 1500. You can see the chiller's on right now, and you can kind of tell that that's the most load that's put on the system. It runs for probably up to a couple hours. The power wore out. Power only cut out once this summer, and it was down for about 1.5 hours, and I don't think that it got below half of my battery charge. So anyways, I'll post another video in a couple months, but as you can see, the CREE seem to be working very, very well. The temperature has stayed down. Before I put these in, the chiller was coming on maybe every 15-20 minutes. Now it's coming on maybe once an hour. So there's definitely been a difference in that. And I mean, just pretty much everything's looking really well. Had 0 losses since putting it in. Although, like I said earlier, I did move a couple things into another tank. Alright.